Hello, I'm your favorite sexpert, the Erica Rivera, and you're watching Sexpertease, the sex positive educational show that aims towards keeping your marriages exciting and single people safe. Today, we're going to be talking about how boudoir photography can enhance your sexual confidence. And we're going to be talking to Lisa Hodgkiss, who is the lead photographer and owner of Southern Charm Creative. She has been shooting boudoir exclusively since 2018. Let's welcome her. Hi,
Thank you.
Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here today. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
So let's get to it. Everyone wants to know. I know I want to know. How do you think boudoir photography contributes to an individual's sexual health and body positivity?
That's a good question. Actually, I would say it can help contribute to their sexual health and their image, their body image, through allowing them to be in a judgment-free zone where they're able to kind of experience and be themselves in this situation and be able to document these images and have something to hold on to. There's also instances where people who have gone through traumatic events also these sessions can give them an opportunity to kind of reclaim their bodies, their sexual identity, their sexual journey that they're going on. And as boudoir photographers, we don't like to say that we're therapists, but we can certainly be a stepping stone along that journey
And you're
along
kind
the
of
way.
you're like tackling more than one thing at a time when you're contributing to your body positivity because back in the day it wasn't really the norm to pose that way in front of a camera, let alone talk about sex health or even discuss body positivity. So I think with it being more, I guess, popular, but more of the norm to kind of embrace that femininity, you're kind of tackling all these issues all at one time.
I agree. Especially with the not posing like that in the past. It's, I guess we're at a point in society where we're trying to embrace it. Like you said, we don't have to show it to the world. We can take these images and keep them for ourselves or for our partner. And breaking down that stigma that, oh, if I take these images, someone's going to see them. It doesn't have to be that way.
Right, right. It doesn't have to be shared. It could be a private and intimate experience. And honestly, speaking of private and intimate, what advice would you give couples who are interested in boudoir photography as a way to kind of have that intimate connection?
I would definitely say be open with your partner about wanting to do it and go in it together as far as finding a photographer that you guys would be interested in working with. Check out their websites, talk to them, have a discussion about what type of images or what type of experience you're hoping to have. And that way, when you go to contact your photographer or several of them, you can have a better idea of what you're hoping to get out of it and know that you're going with a photographer that can hopefully give you what you're looking for. And communication, of course, with that photographer, understanding with couples boudoir, there's varying different degrees. You can do very timid or I would say modest types of boudoir couple photography, and you can do more of the erotic side. And talking to, of course, your partner helps because you guys are on the same page of where what you're expecting from the photo shoot, but also with the photographer, they know what you're expecting from the photo shoot as well. And if they can't provide that, hopefully they can, be smart enough to refer you out to someone who can give you the images that you're looking for. And yeah, I would just say definitely be open and communicative with each other about what you're hoping to get out of it.
Yeah, communication is key because you never know, someone, your partner may not be in that mindset that you might be in. I also feel too, this can enhance, intimacy in general. Like you had mentioned that some sessions can be timid. There may be couples out there that have never even explored something like this before, but that could make it really exciting at the same time. So it's really cool that there's photographers out there that can kind of meet you where you are, even if it's just wearing a certain piece of lingerie. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you said, the erotic side. You don't have to pose a certain way. Boudoir can really consist of many types of bedroom activities and not just the sexual kind of bedroom activities.
Exactly. And there's photographers that will want to capture more of the love side, the intimate side, and others who are more focused on maybe the sexy side, others who are more focused on the therapeutic body image side. So you'll doing the work and looking, you'll find a photographer with the style you're looking for.
Absolutely. Now, can you share any stories or experiences where this type of photography positively impacted one of your clients' self-esteem or sexual confidence?
Definitely. I had, actually, when I first started focusing on boudoir photography, I had a client who was in her 50s who had had a prior boudoir experience with another photographer, but it wasn't the experience she was hoping for, and it had left a bad taste in her mouth. The images she wasn't happy with, and she was hesitant to do another session with another photographer, and she came to me with that information, and we worked together to create a space that would make her feel safe and comfortable. And she had also gone through some significant weight loss, but was still on that journey. And she wanted to be able to um, document that milestone. And I was able to help focus on the body image and the confidence that she had gained throughout that experience, that weight loss experience. And she said she cried when she had first seen the images because she was so surprised. She wasn't expecting what she was going to see, and she loved them. She actually reached out to me a couple years later and told me that she was still on her weight loss journey. She's been doing great, and that those images she still looks at and helps to, give her
Kind
that
of
confidence
boost her
boost
up.
whenever she feels down. So I feel happy that I've been able to give that experience to someone with some tangible images to keep for life.
Yeah, no, I like that word tangible. It is doing that type of photography, it's a tangible way to keep track of that healing journey where, whether it is trauma or self-esteem or sexual confidence, I love that. So we actually have some of your photography that we would like to share, and I'm going to put that up on the screen. Hopefully you can tell us a little bit more about some of these clients you know, and their stories if there are any that you can talk about, but this is lovely right here with the paint.
That was actually a creative shoot that I had come up with. I watched one of Ariana Grande's music videos. I want to say it was God is a Woman. There's a scene where she does this paint and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So that was where I had pulled the inspiration for this photo shoot. And the client is actually a mother of several children. She works, lives, maintains a farm with her husband, and she's a
Wow.
stay-at-home mom. So she's that client that I want, that I target, because they are the women they're working and they're maintaining the house. They forget themselves. They put them on the back burners. They don't take time for themselves. And this is a session where they're able to break out of the norm and try something different. And this was a very creative shoot.
Yeah.
I would say less boudoir, but I love this type of creative
No,
boudoir,
and
you could
it
say.
it's done so tastefully as well. I love that. I love that she works on a farm and you wouldn't think that looking at her after photo.
And riding horses too.
Right,
She
yeah.
loves to ride horses, so yeah.
All right, let's see here. So we also, oh, that's lovely. Wow. Oh,
She's a hairstylist, and
okay.
she had come to me just wanting to um, like document her tattoos and what she had done. We did full nude sets for her, and they looked gorgeous the way they were able to document her tattoos. And that was actually a bathing suit that we did that in. And that's another thing, we don't limit what you can wear for a photo shoot. For these type of shoots, we can get away with anything. I've done more with less.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that it's a bathing suit. I love, it looks like she has like a full back piece. Is that what she has for
It
tattoo?
does. We did a couple where we just
Wow.
looked at the back from the neck down, and it was gorgeous.
That is amazing. I would love to get a full back piece one day.
Yeah, a lot of time in the seat. This
Okay.
was a client that has come to me more than once. This was actually, as you can see, her hair color,
Yeah.
two different photo shoots. The first one was a traditional boudoir session that we did. She was actually just going through a breakup with her husband, and she has some children. And that first session was her coming back to herself and embracing herself during that transition. And
Mhm.
about, I want to say, a year or two later, we came back together and did this creative shoot with like a fairy forest theme. And this was the the far right photo is the result of that shoot.
It looks gorgeous. Like
And
something
you
out of
can
like
see the glow up from directly
a,
after, like when she's really going through it, that
yeah.
middle photo, and then a year or two later where she's really come into her own
You can
energy.
definitely see the difference. That last photo, it's like she just walked out of like a fairy tale like book. Like it's
Yeah,
really lovely. And I really like her story because it's very relatable. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are either going through breakups or divorce and you lose your partner in some way. And sometimes, women, I mean, we're really hard on ourselves. It's like we tend to blame ourselves first, which is unfortunate. So in order to, like you said, find yourself, be proud of yourself again, love yourself again, this is such a great way to capture that journey.
yeah,
So this is awesome. Definitely a glow up moment in the literal sense.
yeah. This is another. She's a mother and a grandmother. She is also a
She's a
realtor. She's a
grandmother.
grandmother,
Oh my
and I know I said the same thing. Oh my God, she doesn't look like a grandmother age, but that's with society telling us that if we get as we age, we're supposed to look old. That's not the case.
God.
And
Nope.
she had come to me because she just wanted to take time for herself. She was a mother, grandmother, very involved grandmother at that, and she wanted to take some time to just reclaim her own femininity. She was used to wearing, just washed hair, regular everyday clothes, not
Mhm.
dressed up unless she had to be. And this was an opportunity for her to step into that femininity for a day. She actually came back to
Wow.
me again.
She looks gorgeous. Definitely would not have thought grandmother at
Yeah,
all.
I know. You're like, that's my grandma.
And
She's smoking.
kudos to you as well, not just the models, but your concepts in each picture have been so well put together. So kudos to your talents as well.
Thank you.
And then, oh, look, who is
It's
this?
you.
This is me. This was such a great shoot. I'll let you explain the concept.
This was a my goddess shoot theme that I was golden goddess theme that I was working on. I worked with a couple other ladies on this session. I really just wanted to have a really good excuse to use the gold leaf,
Yes.
and I was like, well, let's just do. Our golden goddess, and this was the inspiration for it. And I created the similar forest theme that I did for another background and just added, the gold touches to it. But it was kind of my way to help, not tangible, but like, oh my goodness, what am I thinking? Like physical manifestation of the
Right.
inner goddess in each of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I felt like a goddess during this shoot. The gold I was more than happy to experiment with.
Yeah.
And some people in the audience know, some don't. That I had a traumatic experience myself. I'm a survivor of childhood abuse, domestic violence, and sexual assault. So a lot of things, and it took me some time to become this confident powerhouse that I'd like to think I am. So, but this shoot with you really helped me embrace that. So it is a really good way to cope with certain things. I absolutely loved working with you, and I would definitely do something like this again. Even if you're not going through something, it is just a good way to boost your confidence. And there are some people out there who, you know, I always say, in order to be in the mood, because this is Sexpertease after all, we do talk about sex here, and there are people out there that lose, their libido comes down, they don't know what's going on. If it's not a hormonal thing, it could just be your confidence. And if you feel good, if you look good, you're gonna be in the mood. If you don't feel good about yourself, then no, obviously you're not gonna want to jump in the sack with your partner. So
Yeah.
it's boudoir can be just used for so many different elements when it comes to sexual health and your mental health. And could not appreciate you enough. This was great.
Thank you.
But thank you for sharing those with us.
No problem.
Love everyone's stories as well. So, oh, love it. What are some, let's talk about a couple other things here. So, what are some common misconceptions about boudoir photography, and how do you address that with potential clients, especially if someone may be like hesitant?
That's a good question. So a common misconception definitely would be thinking that you have to get naked in order to do the photo shoot or pose super, R-rated or risky. It's not the case. A good photographer will discuss with you before the photo shoot what your comfort level is as far as nudity and how you want your image, like the vibe of your images that you're going to want. And they'll go into the photo shoot planning that ahead of time. And another common misconception I would definitely say is thinking that you have to lose weight or be a certain size in order to do a photo shoot. That's just not the case. I understand, growing up in the 90s and 2000s, the idea that you had to be a certain size was very common, but that we've moved
Yeah.
away from that and more into a body acceptance and better representation, especially in advertising, on what we
Right.
see. So now I think people feel a little bit more confident and comfortable going and doing these types of photo shoots because society has helped to break down that stigma that you have to be a certain size to enjoy a photo shoot. And this is not the case. And another common misconception would probably be, um, oh my goodness, I just had a brain fart. What was my other common misconception? Thinking that the photo shoot is going to be either super expensive or unattainable, and that's also just not the case. A lot of times, photographers will offer payment plans either before or after the photo shoot. A lot of them also accept financing like Klarna or PayPal credit, so it's a lot more accessible, which helps clients who are looking to do like the whole big shebang type of photo shoot,
Right, right.
fun ones, or just doing even a mini session. I've had more clients come back to me to do mini sessions than full big sessions because they're bite sized and you can come back and do different things every time.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we want to be wary of photographers that may be a little too inexpensive, right? Because
Definitely.
want the quality to be there, and it's an intimate situation. I'm not sure I would want to be in my lingerie in front of someone that maybe only charged me $50 for
Yes, exactly. If
that.
you're
So,
only charging that little, I would beg to question,
what are
are
the
you
intentions?
paying your taxes
Yeah,
and
exactly, exactly.
how are you making money?
And it's definitely reassuring that we have moved away from that normative of like when you and I were modeling, because we both have modeling experience back in the 90s, early 2000s, having to be super skinny, super tall. We were pigeonholed so much. And it's really great that that's not the case anymore, that this type of photography is accessible really to any woman that wants to, or any man, anyone, anyone regardless, who would like to experience that type of session. So I think it's great. And speaking of that, how do you create a safe and comfortable environment for clients during those sessions, especially because we are a little bit more open now than we were then about traumatic events. There are people out there that have been through trauma or have body image concerns. How do you create a safe space for them?
You definitely want to be more open with your communication with your potential clients. So, on your website, in your social media, you want to be open about how you're going to create that space for them. Or is it a judgment-free zone? Do you have staff who are um, well versed in handling these type of situations?
Right.
The boundaries about touch and knowing when to get consent to touch someone, whether it's to fix their clothing or fix their hair, maybe their makeup,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
understanding that just because someone says yes in the beginning doesn't mean that it carries through the entire session. You need to constantly get that consent from somebody. And discussing that with the clients before their sessions in your session guides that you give to people, is that in there? Are people talking about,
Yeah.
the safety and how we're going to create a safe, comfortable space for people? Because it's one thing to offer a space, it's another that if they're going to walk in and constantly feel like they're being patronized or
Mhm.
sneered at, that's going to create an unsafe space for someone.
Right, right. No, consent definitely needs to be ongoing. Obviously, when it comes to anything related to sexual health, I preach that all the time. Even if you give consent at first, it doesn't mean that it's ongoing. You have to check in, not only with your partner, but you have to check in with your clients. So, how can people find you if they want more information about what you offer? How can they find you?
On my website, southerncharmcreative.com. Also
Okay.
on social media, I have an Instagram and a TikTok. My Instagram is probably more active at Southern Charm Creative, the same name. And I'm also on Facebook, Facebook business page, Southern Charm Creative, the same name.
Fantastic. This was awesome. I loved this conversation so much. We could probably do another one just on the boudoir experience
Oh, yeah.
itself. I loved working with you. And, to our audience, if this is something you're considering, definitely hit up Lisa. She's amazing and she is trauma informed. So she has helped me a lot, even through my experiences. And that was today's Sexpertise, where we aim at keeping marriages exciting and single people safe. And please